Everyone, I'd like to call this special council meeting to order of Tuesday, July 23rd. We do have a quorum to conduct business. 2 members of council are online. That would be Council Member McKellen and Lawson. 2 members of council are absent. That would be Cunningham and Dawson. The rest of the council members are in chambers. Would you all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public notification of this meeting has been published, posted, and distributed in compliance with the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act. I would ask a member of council to amend tonight's agenda. If you take a look at your agenda, it looks like it's 1 page, but there is a back. And we are not going to take care of item number 7. That is being removed.
I'll make the motion to remove item number 7 from the
Thank you.
agenda.
I'll second.
Ms. Tabernack and Mr. Glover motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, the agenda will be amended to remove item number 7. Therefore, I now need an approval of the agenda as amended. Mr. Glover makes the motion.
I'll second.
Ms. Howard makes the second. Duly motioned and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, the amended agenda will be approved. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to make a comment at this time under citizen comments? Seeing none, we'll close citizen comments. I will now ask for a member of council to make a motion for the executive session as follows. Pursuant to South Carolina Code Section 30-4-70A2, we will have a discussion of matters covered by the attorney-client privilege, which are inquiries, investigations pursuant to South Carolina Code Section 4-6-660 HSB. And after that, when we come out, we will have matters arising out of executive session. I do not believe we'll be in executive session for a long period of time.
I'll make that motion.
Ms. Tabernack makes the motion.
I'll second.
Ms. Howard makes the second. Duly motioned and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Can I have a point of privilege,
Yes.
please? Thank you. I'd like to make a motion that we avoid executive session and have that discussion right here in this session, open and live with the people.
I'll second that.
Duly motioned and seconded. Is there any discussion? You made the motion? Explain.
Explain, well, listen, we've been doing this since, what, a year ago, July? Heavy investigation. I think the people, we asked the people to pay $350,000 and climbing, probably $400,000 now. I think it would be ideal if this group, with our attorneys that are online that actually conducted this investigation, we do what we're going to do back there, right here, so people know what we're doing and they get a good feel as to what this council's doing to make that turn. We fired people. There are problems. It's out there. It's not like we're going to hide anything. We better not hide anything. So my thing is, if that's the case, let's show the people how we work in executive session, but let's do it out here. I think it'd be a great exercise. I've never been part of that.
You were the second.
Well, I just have to say that I have a lot of calls from my constituents, and they keep telling me over and over and over again that they paid for this document, they want to see it, and to waive the attorney-client privilege. But we were
Well,
told
that's
last
different.
week
than
That's
what-
different
Yeah, that's different
than the motion.
than the motion.
Look, Ms. Paula, my motion is that
to have it out here.
we
instead
have
of
a
in there.
tremendous staff, we have a
Okay.
tremendous council, and I gotta tell you, I'd like to see, for once, the people see how good we work together, and I wanna do it out in the open. You listen, many of us here have never been through something like this. Keeping out of, why would we wanna hide one of the most monumental things that we've been through as a county? We hired Mr. Moore because of this, because of what's going
Okay.
on. So my thing is,
I'm gonna
let's,
go around.
Also.
oh, okay, thank you.
And also, I had constituents say to me, from the last agenda that we had, from the last council meeting, a lot of it was executive session. And they're saying, well, why not have the whole entire county council meetings in executive session and forget about the public? Forget about putting it in public. You know, and I can't tell you how many people call me all the time about this, and it's, anyway.
All right, let me go around. Ms. Tabernick.
So I believe we're going into executive session to discuss the summary, which I have now read the report 3 times, more so than some others. I've read all the documentation, and I believe that the summary is quite informative, but I don't know how everybody else feels about it. We haven't discussed it, and I'm not sure where that will take us. So I think we should do executive session.
Mr. Bartholomew.
I'm fine discussing the summary out here. I mean, if that's what we're getting legal advice on, is the summary itself.
Mr. Glover.
Oh, okay. You know, I told somebody once that if my lawyer says something to me, I usually take their advice because they know the legal ramification of things. And so that's where I'm going to stand. I think if I get back in that session and I ask the question, could this be discussed in out in public? And if the lawyer says, yes, you can, then I will adhere to bringing it back out in public. But I'm going to take the advice of counsel at this time and go in executive session because I don't know what can come out of this report that will be damaging to this council, so.
Ms. Howard.
Yes, I have read this, I don't know if it's 3 times or how many hours I spent reading it. I came back and read it and read the whole report. We have a summary to talk about in executive session, and I'd like to do that in executive session based on advice of legal counsel, and then come out of executive session, and hopefully we can go forward from there.
Mr. McKellen.
Yeah, I've read the report from the law firm, and I've also read the report that we're going to be discussing in executive session today, and I'm very comfortable that this is a manageable document that accurately reflects the summary of the activities that we've engaged in with regard to making decisions about the information that was delivered to us in the report from the law firm. I believe that this will satisfy everyone in the community who gets it. I'm anxious to proceed to executive session so that we can consider this and release this without wasting any more time, because there is such a demand for information about what was accomplished with the investigation that was conducted.
Mr. Lawson.
Yes, I actually agree with Mr. Glover. I mean, there's nothing in this report that I'm afraid of being released to the public. However, I think there is a process that we need to go through, and that is making sure that we do not do anything that is going to be legally damaging by releasing it too soon, and making sure we're doing the correct steps. But I think that the summary report, everything is going to be released all in due time. But again, I think that our first step is to go into executive session, listen to the advice that we get from the attorneys of how we move forward, and then we take those steps forward. And again, it will be made public to everyone out there in the correct timing.
Okay, I feel the same way. We are going to release something this evening. I do have a motion prepared after we're in executive session just to discuss the document that all of you have in your hand. And that's the document that we are going to release. We just want to make sure that all of us are in agreement that this is the document we want to release. So the longer we take to do that, I think, is the incorrect way of doing it, but so be it. So now, we have a motion and second on the floor. Will you call the roll? And that is to have the discussion here in public rather than go into executive session.
Councilmember Reeds?
Yes.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes?
Councilmember Tabernick?
No.
Councilmember Lawson?
Mark Lawson, no.
Councilmember Howard,
Councilmember Howard,
No.
Councilmember Glover,
No.
Councilmember Bartholomew,
Yes.
Vice Chair McEllen,
No.
Chairman Passman.
No.
The motion fails.
Okay, so we are back to the motion, which is the executive session. Would you call the roll for the executive session? Ms. Tabernick made the motion, and Ms. Howard made the second.
Councilmember Tabernick,
Yes.
Councilmember Howard,
Yes.
Councilmember Reeds,
No.
Reeds,
Councilmember Lawson,
Councilmember Lawson,
Mark Lawson, yes.
gotcha. I'll just wait on you to
Gotcha.
mute.
I'll just wait on you to mute.
There he goes. Councilmember Glover,
Yes.
Councilmember Glover,
Yes.
yes.
Councilmember Brown,
Councilmember Brown,
No? Yes, or no?
Councilmember Bartholomew,
No.
No, good.
Vice Chair McEllen,
No, yes, no.
Yes.
Chairman Passman.
Yes,
The motion passes.
okay. We will be in executive session and come out shortly.
What would you say?
You sent me that.
Okay.
from executive session.
We are back from executive session.
Hold on, we'll correct what's happening.
We'll correct what's happening.
Councilmember Lawson, will you please mute?
Councilmember Lawson, will you please mute?
Okay, there are matters arising out of executive session. Mr. McKellen, will you make the particular motion?
Yes, sir. I move that we authorize the chairman of county council to release a report which is titled, Report Concerning Council Actions Relating to Procurement and Purchasing Issues. This report will detail the issues that have come to our attention as a result of the investigation council commissioned during the summer of 2023.
That's the motion Mr. McKellen has made. May I have a second?
I will gladly second this motion.
Ms. Tabernack made the second. It is duly motioned and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the motion will be approved without objection, and I see no objections. I will state that in executive session, what we did was to take the report that you see here, that we just approved. We went through the report just to correct some grammar, punctuation, and a sentence or two that didn't make sense. Once those have been done, and they will be done as quickly as we can, it will be posted in the appropriate places. Our PIO, Hannah, will do that. It will be put on letterhead and released to anyone who wishes to have a copy, including all of our media partners. There being no further action, this meeting is adjourned at 5:36 p.m.